Greetings, all. Greetings. I came across a video. Sometimes it happens. Today I was looking at YouTube and came across this video. And in the beginning, initially, I should say, I just dismissed what it says because it looked like foolishness to me. It says, why black Americans complain about Kenya? I said, that's normal. It's wherever people go, they're going to find something that they're going to make a video about, warning other people about. I do that myself. So, and then I just started watching the video, and the more I watched of it, it's like a joke, because I couldn't imagine this kind of lack of, I mean, what would I call it? Judgment, intelligence, knowledge that this person was speaking with. So I decided to make some notes and make a video about it. The person who's the website is not website. Hey, the name of the person making the video is Business This Day. Business This Day. And the thing is, why black Americans are complaining about Kenya. What it says, Kenya is visa free, and so there are so many. I'm kind of noting from his video, from his what he's saying. And if you know Africans how they speak, this is the way to speak, especially English. Kenya is visa free, and so there are so many nationalities visiting Kenya. Tanzanians, Ugandans, Rwandese, Nigerians, Indians, Black Americans, Italians, and so many others. Even Israelites, which he taught, not Israelites, but Israelis, are coming to Kuru, Kenya, to settle there. And I don't know if you've seen all the videos made about this one. How would I put it now? Because they have these outposts all over the world. That's how Israel does it. They create these outposts around the world so that when things happen in Israel, they have a place to flee to, because they know there's going to be a backlash. And the people who normally are left to deal with the backlash that the people in the class of Netanyahu and those above him give him orders, they leave the other people behind to deal with the situation. The last time they had to deal with that, they end up in a situation like World War II, where the leaders fled to whatever country they could and left behind the people who went into the who were just destroyed. Anyway, the Israelis are building in Kenya too, but they're not just building in Kenya. If you see where they leaving Israel from now today to go to, you will see they're going all the way to the Philippines, Thailand, and these countries in Asia are now beginning to see, they're beginning to carry the same wickedness into that country, to those countries, and they're getting deported now. As a matter of fact, some of the countries are even bringing charges against them for atrocities that they committed in West Bank and Gaza, and you know. Anyway, Amongst all those nationalities, only the African American who only African Americans who complain about Kenya, and not all of them are complaining. So just a few. You see? And the other thing is, he equate African Americans with a nationality. Didn't bother to just do some reading to find out that it is not really a nationality. Anyway, Black Americans have settled in Canada and doing business and don't have any issue. There are few, yes, but there are also another group of Black Americans who are living in Kenya for some months and have not stopped complaining. They complain every day. Some of them, not all. I know a lady who came to Kenya 19 years ago. She has not been complaining. A man who came to Kenya 7 years ago, and he has not been complaining. Among all those people, the Somalis, the Indians, the whites from the US, Italy, and other countries that settle in Kenya, only the Black Americans are complaining. And I'm going to leave my comment to later because he doesn't really comprehend why the other people are not complaining. Later on in the video, he states it. This is just the beginning of his video. Now, later on in the video, he states it without even knowing that he's doing it. He mentioned whites, and this is my comment on this, what he just said about the other people not complaining, only Black Americans. He mentioned whites who purchased land, created their own communities, and settled in Kenya. Communities where the average Kenyan, such as himself, cannot live in, and in most cases cannot visit except as labor. In the case with the Indians, the Italians, and white Americans, etc., people who are in the NGOs that he mentioned several times. Can't live among them except you're one's wife of one of them, and sometimes even then you can't bring a Kenyan woman into the community because people will start telling you, hey, hold up, what are you doing here? But anyway, some whites come to work for NGOs and settle there. Some marry Kenyans and don't complain. Is it those other people don't see the problems in Kenya and only Black Americans, some of them, see? He continues that what is strange about these Black Americans who complain about the country, about the corruption, how the culture is totally in a mess. Most of these African Americans are in their 20s and have not yet experienced life. The people who have settled, who enjoy every moment with the Kenyan ladies, are above 50 years old. You hear what he says now? He said the people who come and enjoy life with the Kenyan ladies. I don't know if you guys saw the video of this Caucasian guy who had to get out of Kenya because he was all over Kenya doing all the women and talking about it. And these Kenyans are getting upset. But here he is saying that these men who are 50 years old above are coming here enjoying Kenyan ladies. That's the only reason you're coming to Kenya? That's their only reason for going to Kenya. Anyway, let's continue. One thing one should know when visiting any developing country is that it has its good side and its bad side. Some countries are good, but there is no freedom. How could a country be good and have no freedom? He further says, when I visit a country, I enjoy the positive and ignore the negative. I had to ask, how do I ignore the immigration who bribes me? When I enter the country, the cab driver who overcharges me might drive from the airport, the police, the policeman who demands a payment when he stops the cab driver on my way to the hotel, the overcharge for anything I buy in the market, and then I watch the president and government leaders of Kenya execute Kenyan for protesting peacefully their theft and resources, the theft of the resources given to those nice Indians, Italians, and NGOs you spoke of who are not complaining about Kenya. He didn't get it that these people are not complaining about Kenya because they're creating the problems that they have in Kenya, that Kenyans have. He don't see this. And it's kind of like almost impossible not to see. He don't see that these same people he's talking about that come to enjoy and don't complain are the one creating the problems. And they're not complaining because they're reaping the benefits from the system in Kenya. The corrupt leaders, why would they complain openly when they are making billions, trillions now of dollars from Kenya's resources? Who would complain about that? Who wants to get attention by making a video about, hey, I'm doing this in Kenya and I'm making $1 trillion? They'd rather show you dying babies who need health care and education. But guess what? The education system, they help the leaders to destroy it. Leaders don't build healthcare system. They go to Europe, Italy, and England to get their healthcare. But this person doesn't see it. I couldn't watch the whole video. I didn't watch the whole video. After a while, I just got a little bit overzealous and laughing. And it's just, oh man, my laughter was too much. Anyway, some of my comments. Some of the people he mentioned are from the bordering states of Kenya. But the conditions that they live in, the mental state that they have, is the same as the Kenyans. So whatever happened in their country, when they move because of poverty, because of war, whatever, they, instead of fighting back to retake their country, they move to Kenya. There's no war in Kenya, so they move to Kenya. Duh. And when they do that, they move to Kenya, set up their own communities, and they profit. Anyway, the Indians and Italians are another category altogether. They came to extract wealth from Kenya and are willing to keep the Kenyans in this state of illiteracy we are seeing. We are witnessing from the vlogger who does not know that African American is not a nationality. The question we ask, the other people who live in Kenya. One of the questions he asks is like, the other people who come to live in Kenya, is it that they don't see the problems that Black Americans, some of them, see? The fact is that we see the problems, not only seeing them, but these people, the same people you're referring to, they see the problems. But why would they complain about it? They're the ones who assist in creating the problems, and most Kenyans are so busy worshiping them that they cannot see that these other people are creating the problem. Let's look at the picture. What is strange about African Americans, he asks, telling each other what they found when they arrive in Kenya? That's my question. What's strange about African Americans telling each other, talking to each other, making videos to show each other, hey, when you come to Kenya, this is what you're going to find? Okay, as I consider what he said, I said to myself, let's take a look at this picture that he's painting. What's strange about African Americans telling each other what they found when they arrive in Kenya? It's normal. The Indians do it, the Italians do it. They don't do it on a video so Kenyans can see. They do it in their own discussion groups. And I've seen it, I've witnessed it myself, where these people will sit down and make the jokes about whatever country they're in. The people laugh when they're sitting poolside, drinking, having fun. They're talking about the people in the country they live in. How foolish things they do. And how they're benefiting. How much money they're making. How easy it is. That's the way it is. Is the Kenyan culture corrupt? Is Kenya a mess? How many Kenyans live in absolute and abhorrent poverty? How many die daily due to the lack of food, lack of clean water, lack of minimal health care, and other, I mean, things that shouldn't be tolerated that this man never mentioned? Every developing country, as he says, is a good side and a bad side. So about this, how long has Kenya been developing? How long has it been a developing country? During its 60 plus years of independence, what has Kenyans done with its immense wealth of commodities? Is it self-sustaining in food, agriculture, healthcare? Why does Kenyans leaders and wealthy go to Europe to get good, not the best, healthcare? Education. They go to Caucasian universities, always outside of Kenya, instead of going to school in Kenya. You state that a country is good. A country may be good, but have no freedom. It can be a dictatorship. How can such a country be good when it has no freedom? Kenya is good because it has freedom. People are accommodating. It has internet. The roads are not so bad. You will enjoy life because the cost of living is not so high, and there is some development there as well. That's his statement. It has internet. That's why people come to Kenya. The roads are not so bad, which is, I mean, completely false. And there is some development. What do you call development? Anyway, he goes on to say, he states that the corruption is everywhere, is a part of the nature of Kenya. I had to ask him, did you really think about what you were saying when you said that? And then you have the nerve to ask why African Americans complain. If something is a part of nature, it means that it is like the foundation. And if your foundation is corrupt, da, did you tell us prior to our arrival in Kenya that it was corrupt? Why do you cry about us complaining when we warn others that must be prepared for it when we arrive in Kenya? We have to be prepared for that corruption. Otherwise, the shock that you're going to receive when you, because most African Americans leave home because they heard good things about Kenya, either from Kenyans or they go into the internet, say, oh, I want to see Kenya because people show the, these buildings that look like America and Europe. But then when they get there, there's another side. And they have to talk about it because nobody else is. And they said, you know what? I got to warn other people about this. Anyway, I asked a question. Why do you cry about us complaining when we are warning others that they must be prepared for it when they arrive? As you said, corruption is in the nature of everything in Kenya. You go on to talk about the corruption in the United States. Question is, if your neighbor is a thief and a murderer, do you teach your children to be the same? Why do you compare yourself to a wicked neighbor instead of the best neighbor who is not evil or corrupt? We, when we come to it, Kenya, have a clear agenda. We think that we are returning to our home and family from whom we were so brutally separated, but by those same whites you praise. But instead of welcoming us, we are greeted by the same white man with a black face, who does not see us as anything more than an ATM from which resources can be taken, not shared, not even shared. And you say we must not warn our own people about the experience. You mentioned that maybe we came with $10,000. And if we do come with $10,000, how do we expect life not to be bad? Can you imagine that? If I come to Kenya with $10,000 in my pocket for a visit, I am going to have a bad time. I'm going to complain about it because I only have 10,000. It is unimaginable. You see the people that we got to deal with, the mentality that we have to deal with. I had to ask you, have you considered this statement prior to making it? How can I come to Kenya with $10,000 and not expect to have a bad time? So I don't come in with enough. I should come with $1 million so Kenyans can take the $1 million, and I'd be happy giving Kenyans $1 million. Thank you. All the citizens of the country you speak of have passed on to their fellow countrymen how and why they should benefit from living in Kenya. They also warn their fellow countrymen about how bad Kenya is. They also built communities to which Kenyans have no access and to which even the wealthy Kenyans have no accessibility except by invitation. And though they might invite a Kenyan, they're not going to have the same conversation with him present as they have when he's not there. You see our warnings as complaints, and so never learn or change so that you begin to benefit from your own land. We speak about the corruption we found when we get there. Is it us who caused the corruption? Did we create the corruption? We warn you about the issues. You call it complaining. And blame us for complaining about the issue that we found when we got there, that you as a Kenyan created. We warn you about other issues. But then instead of looking at the issues, maybe sitting down with us and trying to figure out how to solve them, you blame it on our childhood trauma. And when I heard that statement, what I heard is that maybe it's because of our childhood trauma that we are complaining. I almost fell out of my chair. Are we going to admit our part? Are you going to admit your part in causing our childhood trauma? You mentioned the inferiority or superiority complex. I wouldn't even deal with that subject because it's a waste of my time. It will go over your head. But the last time I made, your billionaires that you mentioned in Kenya, how many build world-class corporations that control industries instead of assisting and instead assist the Indians and Italians and NGOs in stealing Kenya's resources? How many Kenyans can you list that has built a corporation that can control the price of commodities worldwide? Even in Africa, really. Everybody that comes to Kenya hand the government a list of things they want and what the price they're going to pay for, and that's the way they get it. Nobody comes back and say, well, above the table, well, if you give me $10 more per ton of coal, we'll give you our coal. They come back and say, look, instead of, I tell you what, I will make a deal with you. You give me the $50 underneath the table, and I give you as much coal as you want. That's the way the deal is done. But you don't complain about that. When we mentioned it, we are the bad guys. But like you said, corrupt is your nature. I can only ask you guys to go look at the video. I'm gonna put a screenshot of the person and his video up. Go see it. I tried very hard. Things don't normally make me angry. Things like this especially. I was just rolling on the floor when I listened to this video. There are some African YouTubers who are putting out some really good content nowadays. I'm serious. I like there I might subscribe to list. But people like this, they want to make a video and don't know what to say in it. And then there are the comments, which oh my goodness, they start going in on African Americans, what we do and how we do it, and how things are bad for us. We don't even we came to Kenya because the police in America are killing us, and the police in Kenya are killing people too. This some of these these Africans refuse to look at what happened in Kenya, what's happening in Uganda, what happened in Cameroon, what's happening in Nigeria now. The government is involved in the murder of their own people. Imagine that. Soldiers executing people, Kenyans on the street, peacefully demonstrating. Call out the soldiers in the army to go execute their own people. He's not talking about this. Now, I am going to talk about it. He's going to call me a complainer. But guess what? If I don't talk about it, my people, I'm not talking about it so I'm finished talking about it so you think. I used to do that trying to get you to think. But then I realized that it won't happen. Have a great day wherever you are. And if you decide to go to Africa, make sure you don't watch the people who are going to show you their swimming pool, but watch you the people who are going to show you actual boots on the ground, what it costs, and not just in dollars, but your health, your stress. A lot of people are going to say about, I hear people go to Gambia and say, Gambia is a smiling coast. Do you realize that's an advertising slogan? How many videos have you seen me made where I show the faces of Gambians and it look like it's like a hurricane on their face? How many people I've driven through Brikama, many other cities to Gambia? How many people do you see smiling compared to the people you see not smiling? I didn't make videos in other places that I've been to, but I've seen it. Yes, have a great day wherever you are. Wherever you're going, prepare for it. And when you see things going bad in other places in the world, just multiply it when you go to Africa. Just multiply it. Peace.